Super excited to be here with you. It's Tuesday evening and I'm back with my FB Live, and today we're going to be talking about the topic how to avoid burnout at work. I think this is one of the craziest things that's happening to people these days, always feeling stressed, always feeling anxious and feeling burnt out. Right, so before I begin, I would like to explain what exactly does a burnout mean, or what does it entail. So a burnout could happen primarily because of two reasons. Reason number one, it can happen when you're continuously being pulled into an emotionally, an emotional situation day in and day out, which is like very demanding. It's demanding a lot of your emotions, a lot of your attention day in and day out. If you're being pulled into a situation like that, that could be a major reason for burnout. The second major reason for burnout is disillusionment. Sometimes when we go to work and we join a job or we're in a business and we don't get the kind of results we expect, despite the best efforts, it can lead to a burnout situation. So let's talk about what could be some of the symptoms of burnout, right? So the first thing is, when you develop a negative critical attitude towards people in your office, towards people at work, that is one of the symptoms of a burnout. The second could be when you don't feel like going to work at all, to begin with. So every day in the morning, you have to literally pull yourself out of the bed and take you there. Third, if you actually get to the work, you're always watching your clock to see when am I getting back home, or you're always looking forward to the weekend and you're always wondering when is my next break point or vacation point or downtime going to happen. So continuously you're worrying about getting away from this situation, right? So that could be another reason of burnout. The fourth could be being absent from work a lot. Okay, so that could be another reason. A lot of times people develop physical ailments like headaches, illnesses, colds, coughs, flus, acidity, migraines, or even backaches could be a result of a burnout situation. When you're totally feeling disinterested to go to work, that could be another reason. Not finding enough meaning and purpose in your work could be another symptom. So you're continuously irritated with your colleagues, you're irritated with your clients, you're irritated with anything and everything that's going on at work, and you kind of emotionally disassociate with people at work. So that is another symptom where that a burnout is happening. The other thing is when all of this drama from work goes home and it starts impacting your personal relationships with other people. So that is another, for sure that yes, there is a burnout situation that's happening. Thinking of leaving or quitting your work or changing your job, or ending your business or shutting it down, or even thinking of changing your roles at work. So maybe you're in a certain department and you continuously keep thinking that grass is greener on the other side. Maybe if I change my department, things will be better for me. That could be another symptom. Feeling very unappreciated and unrecognized at work could be another symptom. So the question is that if these are the symptoms, how are we going to find a solution to this? How can we avoid burnout at work? So I'm going to give you more than 10 tips today on how to do that. Number one is take a vacation on a regular basis. So at least a weekend getaway once a month, and at least a good vacation of a 4 to 5 day vacation once a quarter. Very important, especially if you're working for yourself. I think that's easy to manage. When you're in a job scenario, it could get difficult to get leaves because a lot will be dependent on what your boss is okay with, right? The second is we heard a lot about work-life balance. I think what's important is work-life harmony more than just work-life balance. And that happens when you enjoy the work you do and that it's making a difference to the world out there, it's making a difference to people out there. And when you see your role in that making of a difference and you're passionate about what you do, and there is a strong sense of purpose and meaning in what you do, then in that case working can never ever burn you out, because it's as good as enjoying something, the process, and believing in what you do. So that could be another thing. Know your break point. Again, very critical. You want to know your break point. Every person knows, that the irritation starts or the mood swings start to happen, you know your burnout point. If you know it, you recognize it, take a break immediately. You don't have to even think about it. Okay, and what you can do is delegate at that time. So it's not that you have to do everything. So I always say, don't be a perfectionist. Try to go after satisfaction sometimes and delegate to other people who may enjoy doing that job. So sometimes, for example, if you don't like number crunching and you have somebody on your team who loves it, please hand it over to them. Even if it's part of your responsibilities, there is no harm in delegating. It's a win-win situation. So they get their own joy, and you get your own joy, and then what you can also do is kind of schedule free time at on a regular basis. So you can schedule a free time on a daily basis and put it on your calendar, and after every the moment the alarm goes for your free time, you must absolutely take it. So it could be anything between 30 to 45 minutes in a day. Schedule it in like any other thing that you would schedule it in. Of course, travel, that's very important again. So if you are in a job situation and you have a designated desk, it's important that every hour at least get up for 2 to 3 minutes and take a walk, take a stroll. It'll freshen your mind. Maybe go out and take a small walk and come back, or just take a good loo break and just have a coffee or do something. Get up from your desk, right? That's very important. If you are working in a co-working space, which most people are these days, I think one of the most important things you could do at that time is you can kind of use, if you chunk your day into different groups of activities you're doing, you can actually do group 1 on a certain station, and then you can change your location and do group 2 and group 3, and just change of environment can be very relaxing at times. Of course, if you are really stressed or things are getting out of control, it's always good to reset the momentum of your thoughts, and you can do that by taking a power nap. Of course, it's very important to have proper sleep at the night. Your nutrition needs to be very good. If you're eating light, organic, green leafy vegetables, more part of your diet is about that. Good proteins in your diet, good superfoods in your diet, you'll feel more energy in the body. And you must avoid caffeine. I think one of the things that switch from caffeine to green teas, because that can be a little bit of caffeine is good, but too much of caffeine can also lead to a lot of anxiety, right? Of course, working out on a regular basis, even if it's for half an hour, I think is very important, because just it gets the blood flowing in your body and kind of prepares your body for the day. Again, practice mindfulness. And I would say, something very interesting Seth Godin does in this. He actually sends himself, when he's working on a big project and he knows that, any kind of victory is only like really, really far away, what he does is he starts sending himself fan mails. So he sends himself fan mails, and if he's working on a project and he believes that something's going to give him a testimonial, he writes out a testimonial and sends it to himself. So that's how he kind of keeps him engaged and motivated in the process. And I thought that was a really, really good way of doing it. Another thing is building a great team. If you have built a great team that can do exactly what you do, then you can take regular breaks in your work. So creating a team that can do what you do, maybe as a unit they can do what you singly do, and that is something that could be a great way of creating a system of taking regular breaks. Of course, pursuing a hobby, and I think the more creative the hobby is, which involves some kind of hands, maybe drawing, dancing, painting, music, anything which involves you creatively can be a very, very relaxing way to relax your day. Of course, again, breaking your work into small pieces, small bite-sized pieces which are easily digestible can work wonders as well, because you can, the moment you finish your first chunk of the work, you can celebrate it, and that can be very exciting, because we as human beings, as I always say, have a way of looking at things negatively, right? And when we do that, what happens is we fail to recognize the progress, and when we fail to recognize any kind of progress, we get demotivated. So one of the easiest things to recognize and create a system of progress is celebrating all wins. And the way to create a system of celebrating all wins is breaking your big projects into small bite-sized pieces. So every time you finish one piece, you can celebrate and acknowledge progress. So here are some of the tips that I'd like to give you on how to avoid burnout at work. If any of you have any questions on this topic, I'll be very happy to answer those right now. So if you have a question, shoot it in the comment section so that I can take care of it right now. Hey Nandini, lovely to hear from you, sweetheart. Thank you so much, that's really sweet. Do you have a question for me, Nandini? Anything you'd like to ask at all? Awesome. All right, so if anybody would like to shoot a question, do so right now. If not, I'll take your leave and I'll connect with you next Tuesday, 7 p.m. same time, and on a Tuesday we're back with another beautiful topic. I hope this one was useful for you, and if it was, please do share it and write your comments. If you have any questions that come up later, please do write in your comments so I can reply back on that. And definitely share the video with your friends so that they can benefit from the same as well. Thank you, Govin. That's really sweet of you. Thank you so much. And to all the lovely people who wrote nice messages above, thanks a lot. I really appreciate all of you being logged in and watching my videos. It keeps me going. So thank you so much for that, and I'm ever so grateful for that. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Bye-bye.